Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss our worst bottle break incident. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Cailee Baker and Kathy Cool.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey, so we're going to have some fun today. What I love about having a daily show, you can get as granular as having people share their worst bottle break incident. So that's going to be kind of fun. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Cailee said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Cailee?
So I just wanted to know, and it's a pretty common question among bourbon lovers, but it's not specifically related to bourbon. What is your favorite style of glass to drink out of?
Favorite style of glass. What is your favorite style of glass?
The kind that holds liquor?
That is usually the number one.
Yep.
Steve, if I remember, we had a podcast years ago where we discussed whether or not you would use a plastic or paper cup in your hotel room for your bourbon. Do you remember that show?
No, I don't remember that show, but it sounds like something we would do. And
we were discussing it. I think it was like me and McNew and
if it's between that and drinking anything,
maybe Monty was on that. Monty,
from Texas. Yeah.
But we all discussed whether or not we would drink out of it. You, I think, said you would not.
Really?
No. Yes.
It means I don't get to drink then? I think I'd
Come on, you do what you got to do, right?
I said I would drink it from a shoe if I had to. So, but nowadays, I definitely know that my least favorite is those the paper ones. And like if I'm going to actually pick my favorite glass to drink bourbon from, or most anyhow, it is going to be a Glencairn. I know the neat glasses are pretty cool, but also you have to like cut open the sides of your mouth to make sure you don't spill any of it when you drink out of it. I don't know if you guys have seen the neat glass, but it's a very wide brim.
Yeah.
Great for nosing, not as easy to sip from.
Yeah. My preferred one is not the Glencairn. It is this one. It looks like a little brandy snifter or something like that, but it's a miniature version of it. And this one happens to be a beam one, but that's what I like. It's tapered for nosing, but you also don't have to touch it to warm up the bourbon. It's got a stem. So that's my preferred one. What about?
Oh, you're all technical. You said stem. I call that the handle.
The handle. Okay. All right. I think everyone's weighed in on that. Cailee, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I would have to say Glencairn as well. I have about 50 in my collection, including one that my husband accidentally stole from Neely Family Distillery, which was
accidentally.
I forgot about that.
Whoa.
The first time I met Royce and Rebecca was when I went to Neely Family Distillery, and obviously, you know, when you share that you're a part of the industry, you get the treatment that you just everywhere will treat you fantastically. And of course, Royce and Rebecca, being the people they were, did. And we got a little special behind the scenes tour, and Clinton had gotten a Glencairn glass full of one of the pours. I don't remember which specifically it was, but it was cold out. It was like the middle of October or something. And so he had like just walking around on the tour had finished his drink, his glass, and then just stuck it in his vest pocket and like forgotten about it the entire rest of the time we were there. And so we're about 30 minutes to an hour down the road from leaving Neely Family Distillery. And I just connected with Beka on Instagram, and I messaged her, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I was like, I will send it back to you or send you a Casey Jones one in replacement. I was like, my husband's a knucklehead, and he just pulled out this Glencairn out of his pocket while he was driving down the interstate on the way home.
Probably got you on video with him slipping it into his vest pocket.
And that was the last one. Like they couldn't serve anyone anymore.
No one else served bourbon for weeks until we got more glasses in. That was the last one.
Yeah. Well, there you
go. It's so funny.
It made me laugh.
Yeah. All right.
I'm glad because I was like super nervous.
I'm happy that you're still using it.
Yes, of course.
True. You haven't broken it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'll go first since I've got mine ready to go. I've got Peerless. This is a gift shop pick of their rye. It happens to be one called Charred Citrus. Here we go.
Sounds delicious.
It does, right? Not much there. That's going to be easy to beat, but it was audible. So I've got the lead right now. Probably won't last for long. Beka, you're next.
I've got an unlabeled bottle of our other newest gift shop pick, which is Honeysuckle Rose. Kathy got to taste this one. It's officially in the gift shop now, but it's a high rye bourbon. Let's see.
Okay, that's enough to take the lead. Again, it was decent. I feel like it could be beat, but we'll see. Kathy, you're next.
So I also have a Neely family. This is the Autumn Vanilla.
Ah, there you go. ABV Network pick. Yeah.
I almost don't want to open it because once I open it, I know I'll drink it and then it will be gone forever. But here we go.
Okay. Decent, but not. I think Beka got you there. I think she's still got the lead. I think she's still got the lead. So Cailee, you're next. It's between you and Beka here. What do you got?
All right. I've got Rebel Cash Strength, Kentucky Straight Bourbon from Lux Row. This is a Bourbon and Brew Fest pick. October 23rd in Bowling Green. They're having Bourbon and Brew Fest. I just happened to be doing a tasting next to these people and got this bottle because it was fantastic. So.
Oh, nothing there.
I didn't hear anything.
No. That was sad. That was sad.
Right.
So Beka wins. Congrats to Beka. How about that?
Cheers.
How about that?
Congrats.
Cheers, gang. For the record, I think we need to mark. I think that's Beka's first victory in the new house. I can't say 100% for sure, but I think so. I don't think he won one recently.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
We haven't really podcasted out of here too many times anyways, but
right.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I think it was because it was sitting in the warm car all day and was just ready to.
There you go. All right. Well, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about our worst bottle break incident. We'll get to that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
This is also Freddie Mills going underneath the alias of Danny Kennard. You can find me on Facebook at any time. Just look up Danny Kennard, but I am Freddie Mills. Trust me.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're discussing our worst bottle break.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're going to have Kelly go last because she was making some faces when we said the topic, and I think she's got a good one. So we're just going to assume that. And Kathy, what was your worst bottle break ever?
So here, you should start with me because mine is the most disappointing.
Okay.
I don't actually recall breaking any bottles, but
Ever.
we do.
Well, it's because you're too drunk. A lot of times Scott will tell me, I'll talk to Scott and be like, Kathy broke 3 bottles tonight. I cleaned everything up, of course, but yeah. So and you wake up in the morning like, I didn't do anything.
Possibly. No, but we do go to Kentucky as often as we can, and we come back with carloads. And I swear there was a time that we unloaded and something fell out of a box and broke on the driveway. But the memory is so vague that you should just talk to the other people about theirs.
Okay. I'm going to say it was just regular Maker's Mark she broke. So I'll just fill in the story. There you go. Yeah. She broke a Maker's Mark. It was not okay. Kind of anticlimactic, but all right. How about you, Beka? What's your worst break?
I'm sure I've done it in later years, but the most recent, and I don't generally break any bottles. Like I'm not like tossing them around generally. Now I do have a lot of bottles, these ones in the gift shop, and I'll be like putting them in their bag and it'll flop down onto the counter and it sounds horrendous. I've also had one of these fall off of our actual display shelf when I was putting them up there and it bounced on the ground and didn't break. Oh, wow. So I have not had any that have broken due to it being my fault necessarily that I remember, but I'm sure there has been. But I was trying to stock the shelves one day and I went back to get some salted caramel. And when I grabbed the box, the bottom fell out. This was in our brand new bottling room.
Yeah. So did you lose a whole case?
Like 3 bottles, I think, fell out. And before.
You ever broke a bottle?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Royce Neely's bragging that he's never broken a bottle before right now.
That's false.
I'm going to be tossing him bottles all the time just in hopes he breaks.
Lies.
Yeah, that's lies. I've seen him broke a glass with a Sazerac cocktail in it before.
Oh,
that's happened. Yeah.
Glasses for sure.
Yeah. He knows that story's true. It happened at the Sazerac bar too. Yeah.
But it was pretty. So what made this horrendous was we just like bottled all these up. I think we were still shorthanded. This was last year, like fall sometime. And so there's still a lot of craziness just at the distillery. I think we just built on our bottling room. And the salted caramel is very sweet. And like it smells strong in a good way. But when those break, they went everywhere. And it would there's glass everywhere.
Got ants coming in.
Right.
I mean, we just went and got a bucket of heads and like poured it on there because it was just gonna be sticky.
Right.
And there's someone in this room that wasn't too impressed. So it wasn't a good bottle break, but it just that run of boxes, or not boxes, the bottles, all the boxes that they came in, most of them had not been glued shut like normal. And so we had a bunch of boxes that were like that we didn't know about. Yeah. So it was
yeah, because you don't notice it when they're empty. So you fill them up and then you go to pick it up and it's like, whoa.
Bottom falls out. And so we had to actually go through that entire pallet and just re-tape every single one, where usually we don't have to do that. So that was Not a fun one because it was quite a few bottles, but it was not me doing so. Like I said, I am positive I've probably done it at some other point when I was drinking, but I can't think of one currently.
Yeah. I've got two stories. The first one, I don't know, I guess you could blame me and maybe it's my fault. My father-in-law was in town for a weekend and he asked me, and if you've been to my house, Becca's been to my house, so she knows this is true. I got bourbon everywhere and it's piled up and I literally have countertops that are full with bourbon. And my father-in-law came in and first he's like, why is all this bourbon all the way at the edge? Why do you have it so close to the edge? And I'm like, it's full. It's everywhere. And it's loaded up. Next day, why is this bourbon so close to the edge? What happens if someone knocks into it and falls down? I'm like, well, we don't fall down. It's not, it doesn't happen. I don't know what to tell you. He asked me a third time, what happens when you knock it on the bourbon because you got it so close to the edge? I was like, it doesn't, we don't fall down. I don't know where you live that it's fallen down. And I'll be goddamn if the next morning, well, at breakfast, before he's getting ready to leave, if he doesn't trip and stumble and fall and take out 3 of my bottles of bourbon, boom, boom, boom.
Oh no!
I think I was set up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I think he was just going to show me a lesson. This is what happens when someone stumbles and you
Yes, that's not. This sounds like, honestly, Steve, most of your life sounds like a Seinfeld episode, but this definitely sounds
right
exactly like a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah. And what would your Cailee, if you did this? Cailee, if you did this, what would be your reaction as those 3 bottles broke and you're looking at them on the floor? What do you do?
I would definitely probably curse immediately.
Okay.
And
you curse
immediately apologize.
Okay, there'd be an apology.
Maybe
and you start help cleaning up. Okay, that's good. That's what I want to know.
Oh,
depending on what it is, I might.
So my father-in-law knocks down 3. He just keeps walking and goes and sits down on the couch in the living room.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he just
was he drunk?
No, hey, I'm sorry. Anything like that.
It was breakfast.
He just keeps going.
So he could only be like tipsy.
He just keeps walking and then we're cleaning up in there and he's like,
oh my
and
God.
I hear him telling my mother-in-law, he's got him so close to the edge. I mean, what?
This definitely was teaching you a lesson.
You are George Costanza, and this would be George's parents,
right,
coming over to the house, and then this what we're talking about right now.
This is Seinfeld worthy, huh?
Us talking about it right now is like. We're everyone else, like we're Jerry.
We're at the diner, like this group is at the diner. We're at the table. I'm telling the story.
Yeah. Can you believe it? My father.
And then he just walks over and
he told me 3 times.
3 times,
and then he walked right into it.
Yeah. And no apology, like, hey, let me help you clean this up or nothing like that. Just keeps walking.
Oh my God.
So there you go. So, but that again, I don't think that was my fault. Again, some may say it is my fault, and with the benefit of hindsight, I guess
now you definitely sound like George Costanza.
Yeah.
Your fault was you didn't tape all those things down the whole time he was in the house. After the second time, he said,
"Right, I should have known it was coming.
Things aren't going to fall down."
I should have known it was coming. But the worst one I ever did, and this was a bad one. It doesn't sound so bad now because it's readily available. But, if you're a fan of bourbon, you waited for Wilderness Trail to come out with theirs. And they said, we won't sell it till it's bottled and bond. So you had to wait 4 years. And of course, they're well-funded. You know that they're making good stuff. And you hear them doing podcasts. And they really built up interest in it, but you couldn't buy it. When it finally came out, it sold out in a couple of hours. So you literally, if you had your one chance to get it, and then that was it. And then it was going to be, I don't know when the next release is going to be. Nothing was scheduled. So you had your one chance to buy it at the distillery. That was it, limited release. And I got 2 bottles. You could get 2 bottles. And Tracy Napolitano, the guy who runs the New Orleans Bourbon Festival, said, buy one for him. And of course, we're buddies, and he'd help me out, get some bottles. So I bought my 2 bottles, one for me, one for him. And I take it all the way down to New Orleans, drive it all the way down there. And I'm unloading my car, get ready to go knock on his door. And I drop it in his driveway and break it. Literally made the trip, bought it, made the trip, and it break it. And there's like it totally breaks, and then there's like a little bit of a shard, and there's some sitting in there. Well, he gets out a coffee filter, runs it through the broken glass through there, and drinks that because everybody wanted to try it. And he's like, I got to try this. I'm like, I'll send you a sample when I get home. He's like, no, I got to try this now. So yeah, he.
So you had your own bottle in the car.
Well, no, I didn't keep. I left mine because I figured we'll drink his when we're down there. So yeah, this was like a week in between or something.
Filtered the glass out.
And drank it. And drank what he could, which was like a half a shot. It wasn't much, but that's what he did. So, Kelly,
yeah,
you asked the question, and clearly you've got a bad one here. What is it?
So, one time, one of my more experienced tour guides she has a very loud voice, and she could do bigger tours. So she had this bigger tour, maybe 13 to 20 people, which is pretty average on a busy Saturday or something for us. So I don't remember what day it was, but I remember having to urgently get a order together for Republic, which is our distribution company. So I'm on the forklift and I've got it pulled out and I'm pulling out a pallet with a pallet next to it. Yeah. The pallet next to it had a cardboard separator in between one proof of something and another proof of something to keep the two separate.
Yeah.
Well, we had taken the other proof of something, so that cardboard had fell down and the boys didn't happen to grab it. The boys that were working with me and pulling the order didn't happen to grab it. So I pull out the pallet next to it and just the corner of that cardboard piece caught the end of that pallet and knocked the front case of, it was a 112.4 proof straight bourbon. Just an entire case comes launching off the top shelf of this like 15-foot, giant storage container that we have. So, and it's in the middle of a tour. Like there's literally 15 to 20 people right behind me with the forklift. And so like,
how many of them had coffee filters?
Yeah. You're like, everyone get a coffee filter.
So I'm, I back up, it drops down. I immediately scream out shit. And I'm like, and we're like, we try not to curse or anything in front of, like, we have to like talk to people if we're going to curse on the tour and from kids and things. So I was like, shit. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And there's some kids on the tour. And I was like, you probably have heard that already. It's fine. And, so I get down off the forklift and I go to check the case and only one bottle out of 6 had broken. Off the top shelf of like a 20-foot shelf or something like that.
Wow.
Only one of those bottles broke. And so I turned around and I was like, guys, only one broke. And the entire tour was still finishing their end of the tour. They were like, so it was pretty terrible. That was the first time I'd ever broken a bottle and the first time I'd ever really done anything bad. And I like immediately ran over to AJ, our master distiller, and I was like, I broke this bottle. It fell off the top shelf, but only a bottle out of the whole case broke. It was a shining moment for me, even though it was. So
it had a nice
terrible.
ending. So yeah.
Horrifying. Yeah. That is a horrifying thing to happen in front of a tour.
It is. It very much.
And what I love is the part where she says, it may have been 112.4 proof.
It may have been that bottle sitting right over there.
It may have been
the same proof of.
Because the fact that one bottle broke makes me so mad that when some other alcohol has been shipped out with FedEx and they somehow break like 6 bottles.
Yeah, all 6 bottles.
They got to work hard.
Yeah.
They had to work hard to break all 6.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah. I was very proud. And so was everybody in the tour.
That is the best. Are we going to bracket challenge this? Because I think that's the best story.
That's the best story.
For a bottle break.
There you go. There's the bottle break story right there. You win the episode. So there you go.
Congratulations. Thanks. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. And I didn't know if this could be a whole short. Actually, it was a pretty good show. I think we did good.
If we would have had the guys that work for Neely Family Distillery on this one, there would have been so many stories about the bottles that they broke.
Really? Yeah.
Especially Matthew Wright and Eric. They explode bottles at least once a quarter.
Okay.
And it's always something that's very sticky and smells very strong.
Perfect. There you go. All right. Well, that wraps this one up. We'll talk about where people can find us. Cailee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me at on Instagram at Cailee O. Baker.
All right. Kathy.
I am on Facebook at Kathy Kuhl, Kuhl.
I think it's Kthy, if I'm correct.
Well, so nobody spells cool right. I'm that person that has to say my last name is Kuhl. Cool.
I guess so. I guess so.
Cool, they start with a C.
Is that an actual last name? Cool, Cool. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I've never seen anybody with that name
out there.
There are really a lot of Kuhls.
Yeah, I know that's a name. Yeah, but I've never.
There's Cool.
Okay. North Dakota. Okay.
It used to be Mick Cool, and then it was just Cool.
Cool. Okay.
The Mick got dropped.
Miss Beka Sue, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. And there's some exciting stuff going on. The shop, it's now a lifestyle page. It's no longer just branded merchandise. We got all kinds of cool stuff. Say you want to take a shower and you want some bourbon scented soap, we got you covered, and so much more. So check us out, abvnetwork.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.